Hi, guardians of Algebra 2 students. So this video is specifically for you guys. Um, in many instances, your kid is doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. I just wanted to make things very clear for you guys, and I wanted to let you know how you could kind of help us out in the classroom as well. So this is Mrs. Abruzzo. I'm the one who emails so much. Mrs. Myers, our co-teacher, so you probably hear from her once in a while as well. The tracker is what we want your students working on every single day, and this is how it guides them through the material. A lot of our, once we release the kids after the Google Meets, a a lot of that work time is kind of independent study, if you will. Everything is prepared for them, but they're working at their own learning pace. So for some kids, they get things done very quickly, and others, we need to really like stop and let things marinate for a while. Let me show you what goes on in this tracker. So your student has this sent, they can either access it through the Google Classroom or it's actually in their Drive if they wanted to find it that way. And it's their copy of it, so when they get to go make changes to it, it's a shared document between me and them. Now, with that being said, if you do not trust that your child is doing what they're supposed to be doing, you can force them to share it right here. There'll be their copy and they can share it with you so you have viewing access. And I'm not necessarily sure what kind of email address it will accept, but I'm pretty sure it'll accept any email address if they're just sharing it for viewer access. And you might want to do that if you are, um, I guess, not believing your child when they say they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So we are instructing the students to go through day at a time. This is the full calendar view of everything that has to be done for the week. But like for instance on Monday here, this is a little checklist of when they finish something, they're supposed to like put an X in the box, or if it has something with a score, they're supposed to write down their score. Now everything in blue is a hyperlink to the proper part of the slides. So if they were already, done with 1 and 2 and they were ready to do number 3, they would click here and it would take them to a little explanation slide. It says you're going to watch, the video, you're going to take the notes, and if you click here, it'll take you to the exact spot in Google Classroom. So all the links are provided to them on this tracker, and that way they don't have to try to navigate through Google Classroom. So here, your student already has a big packet of notes and worksheets, so they don't need to print this because we already gave them that. But they definitely need to be watching the video. This is me teaching them how to do everything, and they're going to take notes just as if they were in class. And then again, they already have the worksheet, but they're going to practice that independent. And then we gave them the answer key so they can check their work against the key. And if they have questions, this is where they should be, asking their teacher some questions, whether it be during our Google Meets or other times. So again, they're going through their tracker, they go from day to day, and they keep going and going. Everything is set up in order of how we need them to learn. So they shouldn't be skipping around in any fashion. They shouldn't just hurry up and do all the quizzes. In general, we're finding that some kids are doing that, and I'm sure you could guess that the results are very poor. Um, we need to go through everything. Like, for instance, if you look at the next slide here, this is a task where they're going to write some words and some math to me down here, and it's just reinforcing the learning. These are the things that I'm going to grade at the end of the week, and hopefully it just helps them progress through their learning journey, if you will, and get them ready for the upcoming tests. So, like the next task that they have would be more practice on this website called Delta Math. It's a great website. It has a lot of supports for the students. It shows them worked out examples and videos if they get stuck. If they have a particularly challenging question, they can kind of give up on it and try a different one. So this is a great virtual alternative to doing like paper and pencil out of the book. So here's one of those slides where they're going to take their learning and they're going to apply it. And then, the tasks are pretty self-explanatory and everything in blue is a hyperlink. The children that are having the most difficulty are the ones who are not using the tracker. If they just would learn to use the tracker, they'll know exactly what they have to do every single day. Again, everything in blue is a hyperlink. A major change that's happening has to do with the structure of the school day. Now, ideally, in a perfect world, we'd all be in school every single day and we'd be teaching like we always taught, but that's not where we're at right now. So, what's happening is when your child is not physically present in class, they still need to be working on the work as if they were in class. And I know sometimes the home environment isn't ideal. There might be siblings running around, but it's very important that we, adults in the lives say, "Hey guys, it's 8:35 and you are starting your school day at 8:35." So, one of the changes that's coming from the school district starting next week technically, but we're going to practice it this week for Algebra 2, The children have to log in and join the Google Meets at the beginning of the hour and then stay with the class and the teacher as long as the teacher wants them to stay live on the Google Meets for that time. That's how we're going to start taking attendance. So we're going to consider your child not present if they don't join the Google Meets. And I can tell you from a teaching standpoint, if they don't join us in the Google Meets, they're losing out on so much. Like, obviously, they're losing out on the material because we go over quite a bit of like preview and review questions. We answer questions from other students. We talk about, hey, I noticed this happening with a few of you. Let's talk about that issue that we're seeing in your math learning. And when children choose not to join in with that, they're losing the curriculum growth. But a social issue is that they're becoming very isolated and they feel like they're not, a part of the classroom community when they don't join in on those Google Meets. So to kind of help with that and help the children feel like I really am just doing school, it looks a little different, but I'm still in school. We want to make sure that we stick to that schedule. So as far as the attendance concerns, you can. Um, that's a district decision, so that's not a me decision. But we are going to be marking them absent or present based on their attendance to the Google Meets at the beginning of the hour. So for my friends who are in our second block, we start our Google Meets at 11:10. And then for my friends in third block, we start our Google Meets at 12:40. If you have any questions about that, you can email me. But like I said, that is a district decision and it's starting officially on the 28th. I would be more than happy to call and talk to anybody on the phone. Email works too. Um, if you want me to call you, please email me a very specific phone number and time at which you can be reached because I am not necessarily around a phone during the day like I would like to be. Your student, if they are remote or not in person, they can talk to us during the Google Meets, of course, but we can even schedule a separate Google Meets. But again, the child has to take the initiative to tell me when they want that. I keep getting students who are like, yes, I would love a Google Meets with you. And then I'll give them some options and then they never write back to me. So it's getting a little frustrating on my end when that communication doesn't come back to me, as you can imagine. I'm trying to be really responsive to your kids. I think I am. And if I'm missing anybody, please let me know. I very much enjoyed when I do get to talk to the kids, and I want to see everybody on those Google Meets because I think we really are hitting our stride now that we kind of understand what we're all expected to do. All right, email anytime. I appreciate all of your help. Thank you so much.